The definition of climate change defined by Merriam-Webster is a change in global or regional climate patterns, in particular a change apparent from the mid to late 20th century onwards and attributed largely to the increased levels of atmospheric carbon dioxide produced by the use of fossil fuels. Climate change is real and is brought on by what humans are leaving behind. If people continue to choose not to listen to these facts and do not make changes soon, scientists agree that the state of our planet will get progressively worse. In this speech, the main causes for, evidence of, and solutions to global warming will be explained in depth. Climate change is a serious problem and changes need to be made to stop its progression. Over the years, climate change has caused the ocean's temperature to go up, sea levels to rise, ice caps to melt, and bad weather, such as hurricanes, to hit worse and more frequently. It has even caused the global temperature to increase. In fact, 16 out of 17 hottest years ever recorded after the year 2001, according to NASA in 2017. Climate change is occurring because the atmosphere traps the heat humans let off through chemicals that are going towards space. Scientists refer to this as the greenhouse effect. This is because greenhouses keep heat inside through their special structure in a way that is similar to the Earth's atmosphere trapping gases in its first two layers. Carbon dioxide levels and other man-made emissions that have been leaking into our atmosphere at increasingly alarming rates. This in turn is causing temperatures to rise, causing the effects of climate change. Climate change seems to be more noticeable and urgent problem in some places more than others. For example, areas in the northern hemisphere have faced more pressing concerns as time has passed and the years have gotten warmer. This has been shown through many different forms of research. NASA states in Global Climate Change that the Arctic ice minimum has gone down 13.3% for every decade that passes by. It's evident from satellite images that the amount of spring snow cover in the northern hemisphere has severely decreased over the past 50 years. With the ice melting, there's a very real possibility that animals will lose their habitats. This has already happened to the bramble camellias, who are extinct because of it. Other animals, such as polar bears, are losing their habitats due to the ice caps melting and disappearing. This is just the tip of the iceberg for how climate change has and will continue to affect animals unless there is a drastic change. The future of climate change does not look much better. As years go on, if nothing is done, the problems we are currently facing will only grow in size. The weather will get more extreme as the greenhouse gases build up. There are 1,300 scientists involved in the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change. These scientists predict that just over the next 100 years, the Earth will see a 2.5 to 10 degree Fahrenheit increase. They also predict that the global sea level will rise 1 to 4 feet by the year 2100. To put this in perspective, the global sea level has only risen 8 inches since 1880. The sea level is predicted to rise due to the added water from ice as it melts and the expansion of seawater as it warms. The Arctic Ocean will be virtually ice-free in the summer in the future, according to these scientists. This would prove to be catastrophic to the animals who call this ice home and use it as a way to provide food and shelter for themselves and their family. Climate change is not only dangerous for humans, but for every living being on this planet. Some changes have been begun, but there is a long road to go. The most important thing that needs to happen is education. Many people don't believe that climate change is real. I would suggest that everyone who doesn't believe in climate change to go simply do some research on the subject. There should be more awareness of what is occurring on the planet that we live on. Currently, 195 countries have signed the Paris Agreement that pledges to keep warming below 2 degrees Celsius. Another big thing that needs to happen is stopping the burning and use of fossil fuels. When burned, they emit gases into the air that greatly contribute to the greenhouse gases that are surrounding our planet. This has already started on a small scale, but needs to be increased to be effective. Not only does the use of fossil fuels need to stop, but the widespread form of energy needs to be changed. If each person took a little bit of time to reduce their footprint, the world would be much better off. Climate change is a real and scary threat. It's something that is occurring due to human waste and therefore needs to be fixed by humans. Our planet is on a downward spiral that needs to be fixed before it ruins the lives of future generations. The negative effects of climate change will reach every living thing over time. To prevent this from happening, each person needs to contribute to making a change. Unless this happens, climate change will ruin Earth and leave an uninhabitable mess.